were you actually ever thinking about becoming an entrepreneur when you were young?
No, actually, I did, and
Uh-huh.
always believe like the story for you know Kameltje, and you have like for and Pietje Bel, so they
That's
always
for the
want to
Dutch
be
people, I think, mainly.
ready for the Dutch people, but you always have like the dream from like a delivery guy who's bringing the newspaper to a successful entrepreneur. That's always the dream what I had, and so I did the newspaper, and I'm so that's already a success. Now the rest, so we will see.
And then where did you start with the rest? Like, what is it? What does it mean, the rest, Renko?
I had already like when I did my study, I really liked it. It's called Young Ondernemen, so young entrepreneurship, and I think that was also the point where it for me started. Is that I saw the chance that it was possible to build something and sell it to people, and you can even were really happy as a person. So you believed in your own product. It was like a cookbook I'm from Friesland. So it was a Dutch Frisian, like the ice skating, book, but then in food. So we asked like, sporters and people about writing the recipes and, actually, we sold like in 3 months, we sold like more than 25,000 cooking books. So that was quite insane for students who were 17 years, and people could buy stocks, like real stock, for 15 euros. And after 3 months, we went back to those people and we said, yeah, your stock is now 250 euros. And people were like, what the fuck was happening?
Wow.
Wow.
They actually didn't believe it. So that was really funny. And that means I thought, hey, you can, with 15 euros, you can create 250 euros if you have like a good idea at the right moment, and you really believe in it, and other people believe it as well. Yeah, that was the start that I thought, okay, I love entrepreneurship, but then you have to find again the real good idea. And
Yeah.
So you mentioned you started with a Frisian cookbook. Why was that so big?
uh,
I am like genuinely curious.
Yeah, I don't know because first of all, the ice skating 11 city ice skating tour in Holland is yeah, really famous, and that year was the chance. Actually, it never happens again. Of mostly the chance that it happens again is really low. But that year we still had a lot of ice, so it was 2010 or 2011. I think 2011 it was, and there was like a freezing winter. So we had like the perfect timing. So everything in Holland and even in Friesland is it like if people get the feeling of the Elfsteden tocht again, yeah, people are really excited and like we made a deal with the government of the local government. So it was in their Christmas boxes. So that was already the first deal. So
Next
yeah.
time I see the weather forecast and it's gonna get cold for a long period of time, I will
Then
call
you
you,
have to
Renko.
call me.
Yeah.
Yeah. My parents are still living there, so you can visit.
I have a bicycle. We can start it though.
Mhm.
You said something
Cool.
that I believe many founders can relate to. That is that okay? You end up with an idea, and now you're in the look for a new idea, no? And that's like very entrepreneur mindset, like trying to spot problems all around to say like, oh,
Yeah.
where is this gap that I can fill? How did that work for Snack with Benefits?
I think it's also finding the right moment when you are really comfortable with it, and you are never comfortable with it. But I was like a menu designer for restaurants, and I did that for HNS Host. And I always had a dream to be an entrepreneur together with Margie. We had like a wall on our living room, and we always created new ideas of new concepts. And every 3 months, we we clean it up. We said, no, not this idea. It's not good enough. Or like, I grew up. My father was a chef, and mostly it were also restaurant concepts. And I said, no, I don't want to be anymore in restaurants because I also, yeah, want, I know how my father worked every day till night from Monday till Sunday, and he didn't have free time. And I said, yeah, we have to create a company who also can be, if we want to go on holidays, so I go next week, but that you can leave the company and that it is possible. And that was for me quite hard to find. And we saw like we dreamed about entrepreneurship, but we saw like from Kitchen Republic, but they had like an academy for 1 year. They didn't did it afterwards, but once it was possible to do an academy to create a startup. So we thought, okay, let's go. We're gonna create a startup, and we signed in, Margie and I. And we were like going there, but and signed in, but we didn't have any idea. We had a lot of ideas. So, and then that point we decided, okay, let's create a product. And on that week we had like a dinner with friends of us, and one of them was plant-based for that period of time. And one rule in our home is if somebody has like yeah, we all eat it together, so we don't decide to cook something else. So if one has a food yeah, how do you say that, food
Food allergen
Food
or
preference,
something.
diet,
yeah,
diet
food
preference.
preference. Exactly. Then we all eat together the same food. So one of my favorite recipes is like fried chicken with buffalo cheese. So that was on the menu. So we had to create it totally plant-based. So we created with buffalo cauliflower. And then you had like already better from Max Bean, I thought, the blue cheese ones, and also from Riddickcroft we made the combination of those two, and we served that dish on that moment, and we thought, wow, this is insane. Cauliflower can be really good as an option for plant-based, or even for everyone who loves food. And that was the start of the idea. And at that point, what I said, I was like working on Schiphol Airport, and we have like you have the systems from the wholesalers. So I was searching like cauliflower bites, cauliflower wings, like everything, and I didn't find anything on those websites. And I thought, this is insane, because I get like everyday samples of companies who are sending it to me and asked if we could try it, mostly plant-based, and it was not always that good, or at that point it was not always that good. I see that there is a big improvement of plant-based. So we are now, I say, you have like the iPhone, and we at that point we were like iPhone 2, and now we are at iPhone 10 already. But still, you can imagine how fast and rapidly the innovations of plant-based are going. But at that point, I tested it, and mostly those products were not always that good. Um, and I thought, why are people who want to go out for dinner? They just want to have crazy tasty food. That's the thing. If you go out for dinner, you want to have tasty food. And if it is from vegetables or something else, it doesn't matter. And that was the start of Snack with Benefits. So vegetables, local. And we thought, okay, everybody can maybe create cauliflower like we do, but now we make it so special. So the whole story behind it, and also our belief, because our belief and my belief as well is to source as local as possible. So we even count our food miles to the product. So one of our products, like the cauliflower, only has 250 food miles in total based on the recipe. And we calculated like based on ingredient percentage. So like the cauliflower is for 60% the ingredient, so the food miles of that. So if it comes from Sealand, then we will count it from Sealand to the production location, and from the production location to the storage. And our product doesn't have more than 250 kilometers. So that's quite nice. The only thing what we cannot source locally are our spices and herbs. So like we have some curcuma in it. So then officially then you have like 9,000 kilometers of food miles. But yeah, there's only 0.1% of that in the recipe. So we counted only for 0.1 on the food miles. And I checked this with Barbara. She was like working before for Rabobank, and she was always talking about food miles. And she said, okay, this is a legit way to calculate because nobody did it before. So we were like the first ones who did the food miles. And, but yeah, we were like local. We already, did upcycling. I don't know. We upcycle as well a lot of ingredients. For example, our crumb of our snacks is made from potato crisp, and that is totally upcycled product. So we were like, that's even maybe a funny story. It was like the first months of Snack with Benefits, and in the design of the product, we found it quite difficult to make it, yeah, super crunchy with local ingredients. So normally you work with panko. I really love panko as like as a crumb base around products. Only panko is always coming from America or like Asia, and there are even ingredients that they make it white with chemicals. So for us that was not possible because we have a clean label. All our products are clean label. So for us that was not possible. But I really want those crunch. So at the evening, I was sitting with potato crisp in my mouth, and I thought, why shouldn't be this the crunch around our product? But yeah, putting potato crisp around your product is quite expensive as well. So you can imagine if you do put potato crisp around your product will be like €1 per kilo or €5 per kilo for the crumb.
Yeah.
So I called my old relation. He has an own potato crisp factory in Hoekse Waard. I don't know, it's boerderijchips. And I called Henk, and I was so excited. So I called him directly the same evening. I say, Henk, do you have like potato crisp, right, like a waste stream? And he said, yeah, around 50 kilos till 100 kilos a day. And I thought,
Wow.
wow, this is insane. If that is like the waste stream of the product, this could work for us. And until now, 5 years later, we rescue, for example, in a year more than 300,000 bags of potato crisps. So
Wow.
what started that evening just eating potato crisps is saved already like 1 million packages in the years. So so sometimes things are starting so small, and for us it's really, you see it even in our product. So if you bake it or fry it in the oven or in the fryer, you see the potato crisp is 50% of the product now of our crumb. So it's like really also our own signature.
Wow. I mean, like Renko, here you touched on like many different levels where we actually can go into. The thing is that you you just mentioned quickly your co-founder,
Yeah.
but it's not just somebody, right?
No. It's my wife now. So we are now 16 years together. I think that's also the good thing of it, because if you were just
If
for a
it was
few
going
years,
bad,
I think so. Yeah. It's difficult to partner up with your partner, but I also believe if you do, yeah, I also believe when I did it with somebody else, for example, a friend, and I see how much time I worked in Snack with Benefits for the few years, I think she didn't saw me then at home. So now we build it
yeah,
together, but we also were together when we were building. And what I noticed is for example, if there is something like a deadline, but there is also like a family party, she understands because she also has the same deadline together. So yeah, it's easier to call your family. Sorry, yeah, we are not
Yeah,
coming,
we're in both.
unfortunately. We have a deadline, but then she also understands it. So you have like the benefits of it, but the other way around, you have like, yeah, your partner at home is
You take
also
it
your
home,
business
right?
partner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
we
talk
set
about
some,
it
yeah, we set some rules
24/7.
for it. No, yeah, at the beginning, I see it like if you are in love, you can stop talk about it. And the few first years of Snack with Benefits, we really felt in love, and you can work hours and hours and hours. And we did it even at the beginning next to our full-time job, and then we still worked 60 hours on Snack with Benefits at the beginning.
Yeah.
But that's because you are in love. But that is not something which is for a long term. So we were in love with Snack with Benefits together, and at a certain point we said, okay, we really need. We started, yeah, we quit both our jobs. We get together into the company, so we were with those two at home working on Snack with Benefits full time, and then we said, okay. This needs to be professional. We need an office now. So we drove then to the office, and that started like, then it gets professional because then you have a begin and an end. And so
Yeah.
at the ending, you drive home and you still have some time left to discuss the company. And we said if we are at home, there is no company. So really, if you come in my home, you never see Snack with Benefits. Nothing at all of Snack with Benefits. Only my laptop wears Snack with Benefits on, but that's the only
Nothing else.
thing.
Wow.
Nothing else. So we closed like really the company of everything
Of the
because,
private life.
and then even when we did that and make those rules, it's still really hard because when you are like, sometimes you have that feeling like the great idea or something, and then you think, okay, I got it. I want to tell it directly. But yeah, if you have your business partner, you also didn't call, and maybe he's in the dinner, or yeah. So now we decided to write it down, and then yeah, wait till Monday. But sometimes you have that. You think you have a really good idea, and then you Monday you're looking on your phone and think, was this my idea? Better that I didn't tell.
You mentioned that you joined this Kitchen Republic startup year. I
Yeah.
understand that you developed the idea in the during this program, right?
Exactly. Yeah. We came already up with an idea, and like our first presentation, I also know that moment. We went to the chamber to register Snack with Benefits, but that wasn't the real name at the beginning. So the real name was Cauliflower Power, like the product. So we thought only about the cauliflower power, and Margie and I went at home and we say, why did we call it cauliflower power? And we had some advice of like legal, and he said, yeah, this is not gonna work like for a company name. And I said, hey Margie, are we not gonna do everything with cauliflower?
Well, you can
said,
own
no.
that emoji,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
emoji, the arm emoji, and then in cauliflower shape, no?
Yeah. Yeah. But at that point, we thought, no, we're not going to do everything with cauliflower. And one of our one-liners was from cauliflower, the brand, was call it the snack with benefits. And at that point, we thought, and people were loving, call it the snack with benefits. And then we thought, oh, if people are loving about it, that is something nice. Because sometimes the transition to food, to more plant-based was also like, really like, pushing and say, oh, this is not good. And we always said we want to do it on a positive way. So we're not going to judge, but we really want to have like a positive way of communication and just stimulate people instead of judging people. And I think that's the whole idea also behind the brand. So always positive, always positive, always surprising, always a bit crazy. So
Yeah.
How did the Snack with Benefits look like at the end of the program in comparison to when it started?
Well, yeah, we first started with the idea. I just saw a few months ago the presentation of our of our product and the whole concept and everything around it. We were loving about it, and we thought, wow, we started here, and in that point, we really developed quite fast. And at the end of the program, we had our first client. So I still remember that. And that was also the start of the production of Snack with Benefits. And Margin and I decided to produce by ourselves in the weekend. So Friday, I was finishing my job around this time, around 5:30, and then I go to the production location of Kitchen Republic. My father helped us out in that period. He drove to Andijk. He was picking up the cauliflowers from the field from the farmer, brought it to Amsterdam. Then we cut it in the evening, so till 11, and then he drove back. The next morning, we were there at 7 again or 8, and then we're gonna bake it, mix it, and fry it. Then Sunday, we're gonna package or fry it and also packaging. And then Monday morning, I drove to Carré. Carré at that period, they had like the zomerterras. It was like a big terrace on the water due to COVID. The Carré was closed, but they needed some profit as well. And that was support of, operated by Bout from Michiel van der Eerde. He's like from MasterChef. And he was like so excited about our product. So he said, okay, I want this product now and you're going to produce it for me. So, but we didn't knew that we only had one restaurant, but we need to do like 300 kilos a week in the weekend. So it was like hard work. And then we got on the Monday, I was back at the office again. And then next week we started again. And that we did for 3 months or something. So that was like the end period of, and then we signed in by Crisp and Gorillas. And so that were our second clients. And from that point on, yeah, many restaurants were followed. Yeah.
What do you think was the key, the most important, essential thing that helped you to land your first client?
It was the easiness. People understand our product. So if it is cauliflower, you see, you take a bite out of it and you see cauliflower. And that was like, and also the taste. So it's really interesting. You can make it every flavor. So at that point, we had like with tandoori spices and like with the mango chutney, and it really gets like the Indian flavor stuff. But you can make it like kibbeling, and then with the Rafi God, and you have like a totally different product. You can make it Korean style, and that makes it also really interesting. It's like a chameleon of our product. So if there is a sauce trend or anything else, we can create it. But what also really important is we saw like the shortage of chefs in the restaurants as well. And you don't want to spend your time as a chef to making your own snacks. Really, if I was a chef before, my time was like in the starters, main courses, desserts. But yes, snacks are just like something next to it. They get more and more important if you see for the upcoming years, but we will come to that later on. But that was the point what we saw, like, hey, this is like a real opportunity. But what we also saw is like a chef wants to need to put their own signature on the product. So we created a base layer with our products, so our cauliflower and also the oyster mushrooms and the corn ribs. But you can even put as a chef your own signature on top of it. So every restaurant where our product is tastes different.
Still, it does.
Still, it does, because yeah, if you have a chef and they put just another, they make their own sauces and toppings. Yeah, it's their recipe. So that makes it also really interesting. So even if I eat my own product in a restaurant, I'm sometimes surprised that I think, whoa, this is real good. I love this sauce with it. So yeah, so that's also cool for me as well. So,
but how did you decide? Like, how did you get to know to who you actually are going to sell, Renco?
We didn't decide. Because we were asked to sell, and we said, okay, we started this company. Now we also have to sell. Otherwise, why did we start the company?
Yeah, no, for sure.
So that was the beginning, but we didn't take a lot of risk because, yeah, during that time it was still COVID, and even food service was not really open. But we found it actually the perfect timing. So we started the company in 2020 from ID. So 2021 we started, or like 2021, and then 2021 we did our own production in the summer, and 2022 was officially our launch. So then it started like a real company, and like all the restaurants were open again. So from March, I think, and yeah, we did our first year. So and we started like a first year. But we did a lot of sales in the in that period when all the restaurants were closed in COVID time. But we didn't expect we really went from one restaurant to 100 in 1 month. So
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah. So that was insane. Like we were totally surprised, and like Margie was doing the company by herself, and she thought, "Wow, what is happening? Like, how is it possible?" And we had to scale up really fast at that point.
But what made it then that all these restaurants were so willing to put your products on their menu? Was it
First
you
of
and
all,
good sales?
I think it's sales now. No, it was something new. It didn't was there before. At that point, restaurants had a lot of free time because they were asked to close the restaurant, so they were all busy with their menus at that point, and people were like also more enthusiastic to do it better. So you really notice like all the menus should be better, more sustainable, more local. And so I think we had the perfect fit at that point now as well. But at that point, it was all came together. And that's what I started this podcast also with. Then know you have the right key. So then, yeah, it works out and you know, okay, this feels good and we have a chance, that it could be a success.
It sounds really like a dreamt start for any startup and for any idea. There was any
Mhm.
moment in there in which you almost did not do it with
Yeah,
Snack with
we
Benefits?
two moments actually, and that one was like it's. I think in every company is it an issue, and Margie and I, uh, Margie quit her job earlier than me, but at that point, COVID hits again, and we just bought a house because my mother said, "Oh, you're gonna be an entrepreneur now? Then you have to buy a house. Otherwise, it will take years to buy something if you could buy something." So at that point, we bought a house, and we had like our rent, but also our mortgage together, and we live in Amsterdam. So people know if you live in Amsterdam, everything is expensive. So both were expensive, and Margie quit her job at that point. And I think 1 week later, Rutte was saying that everything was closed again, and really thought, no, for how long does this take? And we already invested a lot of our own private money in the company. So I really believed we have to invest in branding. So the branding, what you see today was already the branding from day one. So it developed a bit, but still the branding, how the packaging looks like it was already from day one. So that was quite expensive. Um, so we invested a lot at that point already from our own money. So our savings were like gone. And we really, at that point, we need to find angel investors. And that took so long. Like people were like really, yeah, if you do funding, it takes sometimes it could be take longer than you expect. And Margie and I said, okay, if this not gonna happen for April, this year, then we're gonna quit the company. And so it was March and everything was set up. So, but at that point, yeah, we really thought, okay, this is not gonna work. If we don't have, own money, then, we need to go back to our, or at least she needs to go back to her job. And also, yeah, if we don't have support from someone else, yeah, then yeah, it will be really hard. And I don't have family who said, "Oh, here Renko, gonna play in the garden, and here is some 50K, and good luck with it." So yeah, I didn't have that, but so well, we found it somewhere else, and that were our two angel investors at the beginning. And I think that's still the best choice ever. So we can call them day and night, and they learn us a lot of lessons. I think the most important lesson is if you start entrepreneurship, there are so many chances. So you get the next opportunity to the next opportunity. And they always say, hocus pocus, keep the focus. And so start with the idea, okay, we want food service. Our focus is products in the food service. So our snacks in restaurants. And that is your focus. So everything what's not on that focus is like, not working. And if you keep that in mind, then people always ask, oh, why don't have food trucks? Why I'm not selling over there? Do you sell to hospitals? No, 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 no. We are focusing on restaurants and selling to, yeah. So that's the easiest way. But there was a second one, and that was like, we found it really hard to get the production. For all our products were quite new in the market. So we were the first ones in the world who can cut corn ribs. Even the cauliflower was not available by wholesalers. So everything what we do is something new. So we also need to convince the producers to produce that for us. So I was lucky that I was producing like our own cauliflower, but also showed respect to them. They see like entrepreneurship, and they see, oh, this guy's working 5 days a week. He also go into the weekend. He focus and he really believes that it could be a success. And then you get the opportunity to do some testing. But the quality at that first batches, like it was like terrible. Like our own quality was so much better than if you compare it from production. And I really thought, no, but how can we scale up at this point? Because we really want to. We also believe, if we can still cut it by our hands, what's our impact? Where we want to do better for the world, but then 200 kilos is something little. So we need to scale up, but that was really difficult. And at a certain point, we really thought if it doesn't scale up, we're gonna quit. And we didn't saw ourselves to do production 7 days in a week, and then do maybe 1,000 kilos. So. But we found a way, so that's the positive thing, and we found always a way. But what I really learned from that is, I was a chef, and I always said, if you can cut it by your hand, how can a machine not do it? But that is also the difficult part of a machine, and even our corn. What I said by our corn ribs was, if we can go to the moon, then we can also cut corn ribs, right? It's like cutting corn in the length. We can fly to the moon tomorrow, but we can cut corn ribs. I don't believe that. So that was also the challenge. What I said to production locations, and we found a way of making it and cutting it. But
with already existing technology, I suppose, no? Or did you create?
Yeah, it was existing technology, but there was like a lot of changes of the machine. So it was also a big investment, and we didn't make the investment by ourselves. So we have to also convince the production location to do that investment for us. So that was sometimes the difficult part, and later on the production location is happy because we sell them. But it was also a big risk for them, and they should they need to believe a startup who has no track record. So
But then, I have two questions actually in one, because the first thing is your honest opinion. What made those angel investors invest in your company, Renco, at that time? And secondly, what made then the producer actually want to go with you and change that machine and cover the cost themselves?
You mean by the angel investor? What did they do, or how much
money
did
why
they
did they invest in you?
Because they believed the story, and they were already entrepreneurs, and our story was different than the others. Like all people, like if it was at that point, plant-based alternatives were like rocket sky. And that was also the first things when we were speaking with investors. They say, okay, but you are just vegetables. You can easily copy your products, and what's then so special? How is your proteins in your products? And because that was all right on plant-based. But I said, yeah, we are tasty. So and maybe that's the first thing where we should start, and then we can change everything to a better product. Which on natural values, we can add beans to it. I don't know, but it first starts with tasty, and that was always what I said. So our angel investors also believed in tasty, and they found it really tasty, and I already knew them from my network. So at a certain point, we noticed at the Academy of Kitchen Republic that we would go faster than the rest. So that makes us the decision that we called someone. In this case, it was the man of this beer from Lowlander. Frederik, I called Frederik and I said, okay, we are a bit stuck with Kitchen Republic Academy, and we noticed that people we couldn't ask the questions anymore where we want to go. And I said, do you want to be our coach? Can we call you sometimes? And he said, oh yeah, that's cool. You're allowed to call me, and I love to support. And that was also the point that we decided that he was at the I think 5 months later, he said, okay, if is she investing your, in this case, it was Margie Nederson. She's from Plant Forward and from the podcast Back Lekker. So maybe you know them. It's your colleague from the podcast. And she she decided also to invest in us. And then that point, Frederik said, okay, then let's go, we do it together. So for us, that was really nice because then you had the combination was right because we had a man and a woman and a man in our team. So it was always like on the same, felt always on the same level. And
That's cool.
yeah. And the second question, what you asked was like, why did they were convinced about the production locations? And that was because enthusiasm. And what we noticed is like mostly you are speaking with really like the entrepreneur of the company, and they started the same as we did, maybe 40 years ago. But they were like they know our route, what we did, and they know how hard it is to struggle, and they also see like the fire in young people who are really enthusiastic to change the world. And at that point, you think you're gonna change the whole world, and you are super enthusiastic, and you will never say, if people say no, you say, okay, let's go, and then you will find another way. So I think they really like that energy and positivity, and that's something. If you build a company, it's get bigger and bigger and bigger. Sometimes you also lost that identity, like the fire, falling in love. What I started, the
Yes.
fire and falling in passion about it. It's sometimes gone in the company, and also you see that at those entrepreneurs, if you are like 30 years in your own company, of course you're missing sometimes the flame. Yeah, it's not. It's like logical.
You mentioned before that this was going to call cauliflower power, but then you realized we're not going to do cauliflower forever, no?
No.
And I think that ignites also two questions, if I may. One is, when do you decide to move on from only cauliflower to other snacks and other ideas? And the second is, what things do you have in mind that is like, okay, these are the important things that we need to have in order to have like a portfolio that makes sense, no? Like just as with the cauliflowers, we were like this, like other our other ideas, they will need to be as well vegetables as well from the Netherlands or Belgium.
Mhm.
So what were those requirements that you had, like when you have when you say, okay, let's think of a new idea?
Mhm. First of all, the idea from cauliflower was quite fast because then I thought of what gonna do next with cauliflower, and there were like at that point Maggioni was like really popular with the potato of cauliflower
Pizza, but
pizza. So at that point I thought, okay, I don't know anything else, and I was a product developer at that point. So and we really liked changing the snack world because it was like yeah. It was quite boring. So you have like the Beckers and the Moras. They are not well known as like the sexy brand of snacks. And we thought, okay, that could be us in the future. Um, but yeah, then you have to check your domain. What's your domain? And we thought about, okay, our domain is vegetables. So we're going to do everything with vegetables because in Holland, we are one of the best producers of vegetables in the world. So that's our benefit if we do it over here. We have many opportunities with it. And yeah. So we really at that point we made a list of possible products what we saw what we always we don't look at first of all can we make it is it something is there a waste stream of it at that first it starts with the idea the best product and then we're gonna redesign so okay for example, our parsnip, our latest project, who also won a lot of awards during the Horikava last year. Yeah, that started totally different. So we said, okay, can we make like a kind of soya-based structure with vegetables. So we already had like the cauliflower, we had already the corn ribs and the oyster mushrooms, and they were always based of the full vegetable inside. And we said, okay, we want the structure of those plant-based, but then only with vegetables. And then we were looking, okay, how does it look? Are there waste streams? Oh yeah, there are a lot of waste streams on parsnip. Okay, how much is it? Okay, over the 500,000 kilos a year. Okay, so that's already done. We can work totally with upcycled ingredients. Okay, what will be the shape of this product? Because we were first time we could change the shape because normally we were stuck with the shape of the cauliflower, of the corn, or the oyster mushroom. That's also really special about the product and makes it like artisanal that everything is else. But here we had like the point, okay, we're gonna build the first full snack, so like croquette fricandel, totally made from vegetables, but the structure which also tastes like meat, plant-based alternative. So at that point we designed the product, but that took longer. I think we took a year with it, and we also had like some help from production locations in the Netherlands. So we worked together with FLM on it, and also with Frio Food. And we designed those. We designed a product, and the nice thing of the product is that even almost, I think, 90% of the product is an upcycled ingredient. So we were also like the story behind was also even better. So that was really cool. And well, but still, it's not our number one hit, I will say. So still, our cauliflower is selling the most. But yeah, sometimes you do things, and now we are working on a new project again, totally different than what we did before. But what we always do is like our domain is now social sharing. So that's our domain where we are working on. And there are different moments of snacking. You have like the whole trend. I don't know if you heard about it, snackification. It's even
mm-hmm.
getting bigger than the microwave implementation in the world. So we see like a big movement of snackification, not only in the Netherlands but worldwide, and that makes it super interesting. Like snacking is also what now mostly happens in social sharing. If we see it in the Netherlands, or like snacking, you can eat it at home, like potato crisp or anything else, or the nuts. But also you see like snacking on the move, but you also see snacking in breakfast, for example. And breakfast is a whole new era. But we are now with that social sharing, so it also suits us the best because our focus is restaurants. That's the point where a lot of social sharing is happening. But we said, okay, if in that domain you want to be everywhere, like, so you can imagine Snack with Benefits is not that successful in wine bars, for example, because most of the time there is not even a fryer. Most
Yeah.
of the time, if there is an oven, they prefer to sell cheese and charcuterie and anything else. But how can you make the domain of vegetables also in those stores? So we are now working on that project. So that's how we find new ways of development. It always starts with, okay, where are the possibilities? And sometimes it's just because we want to do it. And we
Well, one thing that I know that you're very proud of is the food miles. No, you mentioned it at the beginning. You were very
yeah.
able of the. Since you're working with vegetables and locals, local farmers, local producers, in that sense,
Yeah.
how big of a drawback or a challenge can be seasonality? Because in the end, you have different products in a very concentrated area, and they grow when they grow. No, you cannot push for that.
Yeah.
Does that in some way affect the way that you decide to produce or to choose for new snacks, etc.?
Yeah, at the beginning of our company, we started always with fresh vegetables, but that was also a difficult part of our idea. If we want to work with fresh vegetables, yeah, then we have the season, and then we have to move from season to or we have to have a lot of money to have to already make our product for the whole year. So yeah, we didn't have a lot of money. So we have to make another decision at that point. And our decision at that point was to work with frozen products. So we can still work in the Netherlands. So what we see with farmers nowadays is like there is always the demand. So from supermarkets and wholesalers. But yeah, on the field, something else is happening. So there is like a shortage, or there is like a lot of vegetables at one time. Due climate change, this cycle is moving really fast. So it could be in 1 week that all the cauliflowers are on the field. Yeah, then they have just 2 weeks left. What's the best way to do with it is to produce and freeze it in. So then life cycle is extended for 2 years,
Yeah.
which makes it interesting because then you still have 2 years to think about what you're gonna do with the cauliflower. And in our way, we make it more more interesting also for the farmers, because what you see is if you sell it at that point to the supermarket, they only get maybe 20 cents, 30 cents, and even organic farmers cannot offer that price because there is a different way of farming. And you have the podcast with Andres, so you can hear it.
Yeah.
He knows a lot about it, but it's not able to be a farmer at that point and earning that less money. So you have to do something with it. So make it more value on the product. So that's what we are doing. We are making more value on cauliflower, on corn, on parsnip, and that's why we are able to help farmers as well. So giving the right price to them. And that was like an extra benefit of the company, what we found out later, and we are really happy to that. That is also part of collaboration and partnerships for the long term.
Yeah, that is super. I mean, now it falls apart, and every time you say benefit, it's also like connecting every time to your name, and it's super good, like any benefit. It's really a snack with benefit, right?
Yeah,
Not
it's
only
really a
when you
snack with
consume it,
benefit.
but the whole business around it, man.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's super cool. There's one thing, because you do product development, you do not have own IP, you have your own recipe. It's not like techie. And there's a lot of these founders, that are also doing recipe development, having their own food creation, and then have to go to manufacture, and then are afraid because they give their baby away. Like, and how do you deal with this? Like, how do
Yeah,
you can you?
it's always really difficult because it's also about relationship and trust, and sometimes trust is really hard at the beginning because you don't know each other. Um, what I can give as an advice, make it a puzzle. So combine different ingredients. So I will always say it's like IKEA. It's for one part, two part, three part, four part, and if you put it together, it's one recipe. But all the ingredients are already combined. So, for example, flour with your spices. Like our crumb is made of four ingredients. No, we're not gonna mix it over there. No, it's already mixed. And that makes it more difficult to identify for the
Manufacturing.
manufacturer. So they can only put it together, but they not always know what's all in it.
Yeah, it is super smart. Like, I know a lot of different stories of startups that started with a company to work with, and then eventually they said, "Well, we can do it ourselves." So we don't need you
But
for that matter, right?
but always the risk. But I really believe nowadays it's also about building a company and also building
branding
a
around it.
community. Yeah, branding around it and building a community, and that's not something what you can copy in a day.
No.
So maybe you can copy the product, but if you don't sell, who cares? Yeah, what's then the benefit of having a company
Yeah.
of the products? So you first have to build it, and then, but yeah, it's difficult sometimes. And I also see, like, I heard those stories as well, and I found it always sad about those things because I also think that happens to people who at that point, well, they really believe at that point that
Yeah,
somebody
they're
is helping
passionate.
you. Yeah, and
Yeah,
passionate and tell the right things to those people in the that they are helping, and then
you take it away.
you take it away. So that's sad. Yeah.
And you already pointed it, and I think this is a really strong part. You started with it for the business with like branding. The branding is super important. On that part, what are for you like essential branding strategies that you implemented from the start that you're still doing today and made also a great success for Snack with Benefits?
I think the black with the orange, that was already from the beginning. Oh no, not the orange was later on. So we have black and white. That was the beginning. And then we thought, okay, need to add some color to it and what we already did is, I don't know if you know, but in our logo, you see the star.
Yes.
And if you see the backs of our products, then the star is moving to the vegetable. So the vegetable is the star of the show of that product. So it's always moving. So that's already from the beginning what we thought. And like the logo is like a triangle, and that's the triangle is delta, and delta is standing for change, but also to eagle. That we shared with the producer, we and the farmer.
The
So that was
consumer.
all.
The farmer.
Yeah, and consumer as well, but that was later on that we had. And that all the products had already their own design and character. So that was already something from the beginning. So you have like the cauliflower has its own character. I don't know if you
What
noticed,
does that
but
mean? Like,
there's like it's like a bit Disney. So they have their own, yeah, their own person. So we have really redesigned a
yes.
cauliflower, and that was something what we already decided from the beginning, but also found it quite difficult later on because it could be also a bit childish. So it could be, but I think our designer did a really great job on that, and now it's really getting a family as well. So I'm here in the office now, and I see we have like a graffiti artist made a wall with our characters, and I found it really cool. So yeah. And people, yeah, it's really colorful brand. I think that's also because we thought about the positivity, and we wanted to make it colorful. And yeah, so that's I
Share
think
with us the picture afterwards from the wall, then we
I
can
will share it.
showcase it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a
that would
funny
be lovely.
story. It's a funny story as well because it's one of the famous graffiti artists of Amsterdam who did it, and
Oh,
I was too late with organizing an event for our team. So that's how entrepreneurs always are. Yeah? So I made a call a day before to a graffiti artist, and he said, "Okay, I want to do the workshop. I never do this, but okay, let's do it." So and now he's our house artist. He's made shoes from us, jackets. And now the wall as well in the office. So yeah.
super cool.
So
Yeah,
we are
that's very
happy
cool.
with that call from that day, and now we have like a graffiti artist working together with.
You have your product now. You have partnerships with Heinos, with Sligro. No, like it's listed in very important wholesalers. For someone that is like any listener that is aiming, like just like you, to being one of those wholesaler list, what do they need to be ready for? Like, how does it look like actually?
Uh, I think always it's nice to start with one or two wholesalers, for example, because then you can really make a collaboration together, and that's also what I started from the beginning. We had a really nice collaboration with Bitfood, but they also helped us for doing sales and anything. So that's also why we grow from 1 till 100 is you need to work smart and work together. But if you see what they expect, yeah, a lot of rules as well. So everything has to be really food safe. So it's not even when we did our production, for example, yeah, we were not officially able to deliver an Bitfood, for example. So that's something which you have to know. But it could be, but there are a lot of regulations and rules on that. Expect not that you directly have sales a lot. In our case, we were lucky, but most of the time, if we now launch a new product, we see the same. So it takes time. And if you think you're in the wholesaler, then the game just started. So, for example, in Holland, you have like you're in for example Sligro, and then what you see is then you get your article number, and but doesn't mean that people can order it because they have like
Huh?
they have all their own distribution centers, and they can decide if they can put it on stock. But yeah,
Yeah.
it always starts with the client who wants to have it on stock. But yeah, that makes it also always the chicken or the egg. The other one, the client says, if it is not on stock, I will not order
I know.
it.
Yes.
So expect that kind of things. So it's really a game and it makes it difficult. So like you really need the events and that you just have 10 people who are saying I want this product and then it will be open. And build.
But then
Hmm?
you said like Bitfood was your first one, Renko. Like,
Yeah.
did you then only like focus on them? Like even when you went to events?
Yeah, we do, but also because we grew that fast in the first year, we were not able to deliver for someone else because Bitfood was growing that fast only within Bitfood. We said, yeah, we are lucky that we every day can deliver you guys, and everything extra is now not possible at this point. So yeah, it was not that we made the confirmation with them
This was
or
a
that we.
strategy, like there was the curiosity strategy, like making them even
I
wanting
think
more of your product.
we were not really able to deliver more, and Bitfood was growing that fast, so we said, okay, this is all good and
Oh.
fine, and that's the start point, and yeah, well, yeah, and yeah, you really need to collaborate with those wholesalers. So yeah.
What is essential for them? Like, what was essential for Bitfood? Like, yeah.
What they really do is like they go to restaurants, and what needs a restaurant? What inspiration. So that's the
Mm.
most important thing. So if you can give them, for example, a sample box of your product, then they can offer inspiration as well to their client. Nobody is looking for like cleaning stuff or something. No, it has to be something cool, something new. It has to look interesting. So what you see is like they just enter the restaurant and say, hey, how are you doing? I have like a small package for you. It's just in Bitfood now, and let me know if you like it. If you don't like it, it's also all good. But yeah, that's how it all started.
These were these boxes, right? You can see them on
Yeah.
the website. And that was actually your question, no? Like why like on the website is really targeted B2B and stuff still. And
The packaging looks B2C.
And the packaging looks B2C, but then it's maybe the strategy behind it.
Yeah, it's like, is it that you were going to go B2C and then you decided B2B, or
Mhm.
it's always been B2B and you just have like a very way of exposing this product?
No, I think it came also due to COVID, and that was like we entered Crisp and Gorillas, and then we had a question, or we were called by Albert Heijn, and they said you could enter 400 Albert Heijns end of this month, and then we said, okay, that sounds really nice, but our packaging was not ready for that. So we said, okay, give us like you have like different moments in supermarkets. So it's always week 20 and week 40 that they are moving their assortment or changing their assortment. And we said, okay, we get ready for week 40. But yeah, at that point as well, so that's the reason why our website is also looking for consumers, because we were already in the consumer market. But we decided to cut off consumer market at a certain point because we noticed that our selling was not on the level what we expected to build a sustainable and healthy company in the future. So that was a tough decision, maybe the toughest what we did, but also the best decision for now. And we have now students working for us this year, and they are like studying and doing research how we should enter again the consumer market if we want to enter.
What were you missing then? Like what was the thing that you because you said it was not what we expected, but what was the part that you were missing that you believe that maybe you could have done better?
I think we were not ready on the right moment at the right point. What we see now is like the Asian food trend is going on in supermarkets. That was something what's already 10 years ago in the restaurant. So the gyoza is not something new. It's now getting really popular. And I really believe that that could also happen for what now the movement is in restaurants is more local, more vegetables. But it was not ready. We were maybe too soon, and also we decided to do our plain product, like how we sell it to restaurants. Yeah, that's not working for consumer market. They want if you eat our cauliflower with appelmoes, for example, or like mayonnaise, it's totally different experience if there is a Korean glaze around it. So. Yeah, I also thought that the product was not the right fit, the place was not the right fit at the time. And we even sell better, like the vegetarian bitterball. But for us, like the business case was not that success that we thought, yeah, it was like the rotation was that low that we said if we really we really want to invest to make it a success, but then there also should be a healthy business case. And um, at that point, Albert Heijn couldn't say to us, okay, if you invest that amount of money, you stay for a year in our supermarkets. So that point we said,
There's no
okay, then
guarantee.
no guarantee. Then we said the risk is too high to invest that kind of money with the idea that you could leave again within 6 months. So we said if we have that money available, why we don't invest it in the restaurants?
Yeah.
In where what was already a successful and we're growing like 40-50% a year. Why should, if we had that money available in marketing for restaurants, we can even grow faster on that side. And that was our decision to do that. With success,
Then
because it was maybe the best decision at that point what we did. Yeah.
yeah, because otherwise you will probably be at a different stage right
Yeah.
now, right? That's
Yeah, I
the
think so. Yeah. And the margins and the revenue is really small
yeah.
if you have like a startup. So one bad decision could change a lot. In the future. So yeah.
What is talking about the future? What is the outlook for snacks with benefits? Like, what is the current status? Maybe revenue, if you want to share it. Where can we go?
Yeah.
Where can we expect in the future?
And we are really busy with of course the Netherlands. So that social sharing part is what we are building on. We are now in every wholesaler. So we had in April 3 hires, so 3 new people on sales. So they are moving around the cities of the Netherlands, and the first goal is to double snack with benefits. So last year we did some 1.1 million. And we are now focusing to grow to 2 million, and we are on the right way. So first quarter was already 40% growth, and then it was without a new team. So we are like looking forward to see the success as well in the Netherlands, and I really believe we can make that happen.
There's a lot of pressure on those 3 employees.
No, yeah, with the right support, of course,
Yeah.
we are doing it together, and I really believe that if we do that right together, and that's the first focus. Of course, we are already speaking outside the Netherlands. So, what are our opportunities outside Netherlands with the same products? Maybe even one product. So, our hero product, for example, the cauliflower. How does it look if we move that to, for example, Germany or the UK?
Which country do you think fits more?
Mm,
Which is the snacking, right?
I cannot answer that question right now because we still looking to the canvas. But I expect Snack with Benefits as a brand works better in the UK. But it's a market which has all the startups all over the world who are. If you go to Europe, you go first to London.
Yeah.
If you are a Germany company and you want to have success outside Germany, you go to London. So everybody is going there. So I found it really interesting to go a different path and see if that is also possible. So that's why I'm now looking into Germany. But yeah, there are many factors. It's about networking. It's about pricing. Which companies are there? And why we are now busy with, and I think that's also a really nice tip to other entrepreneurs is if you see now which restaurants you are selling to, and make those groups. What makes it really special? Why they decided to buy your product, and if you can make it a concept, you can also scale it up in the future. So. There are, of course, Anna and Max locations, or Lucia locations, or Center Parks locations, or Therma locations in Germany. There are. What makes this decision for example, Center Parks to work with your product? So how can we sell it then to the Center Parks of Germany? The same idea. because I really believe that's the way how you can scale it up. Yeah, we are now working on that. And what I said, we are working on new products. So
Yeah, that is super cool. I like you gave a little teaser, and before I go to the ending, like you said the snacking world becomes more and more interesting, and you gave something already away, but can you give me a bit more insight into this? Like, why is snacking becoming more interesting?
like
Because
what
I
we
also see the downtrend, like GLP-1, like people are saying consumers will be more careful about what they eat and what they eat tomorrow or today.
Mhm. Yeah, it's like people eat more times a day, and that's why the fit of snacking is really suitable. You see the way of snacking is changing. So what people make the decision is not the snacks what we think that were snacks before, like potato crisp, like all the bad products. If I can say, mostly if I see a snack, it's not really beneficial most of the time, at least when I was young and I go to the supermarket and I was snacking was not always the right product to snack with. Um,
No.
and that's really developing really fast at this point. And if you make it more healthy, more sustainable, with the right product and branding, then it could be really interesting because people are eating different. Instead of 3 moments, they move to 6, 7 moments a day. And then if you can fill in those moments, maybe you can fill in 3 of those 7 moments. Yeah, there is a big opportunity, to grow.
Well, okay. Then I think this is very like I will also dive into this because I find it very interesting.
So
Yeah,
like we could
yeah.
dive into, but we
Renco, we come to an ending, and basically there are two things we do at the end of the podcast, which is one, because we have been firing questions to you. You can fire a question to us.
Mm-hmm. When do you start your own company? A real company, bigger than the podcast. Because
Bigger than a podcast. Good question.
I think that there are things coming. We will see. It's something that definitely we explore and we have ideas, but
Mhm.
we're working on things.
No,
You know how it is, right?
if you need any help, then you can always call me.
I can call you. I will call you.
Then
If I
then
coach.
we'll
We have
shoot you.
a new coach.
You know that it's what you say, right? In the end, you need to find a fit. The thing is, just in life and knowing from working with all the startups and having talks, we
Mhm.
don't want to do product push like
No.
and if you do that, right? If you ever do, we had in the past a startup for a year. But yeah, I don't know at this stage. We will see.
You know,
at
it's
this
funny.
moment.
The other day we were driving in Hilversum, and my girlfriend spot. I didn't say it because I was driving, but she spot like a commercial, and she said that looks identical to Just Us. Like there's the product that we used to do together, and I think it was funny because then like 5 years later you say, oh, maybe that could have been.
That's always about entrepreneurship. When I was a child and I was young, and I said to my father, "Why are they still selling videos like for rent? You can just stream it on your television, right?" And that was Netflix in the future. So,
Hey, we have here
visionary.
Visionary.
In that moment, like, no, that will never happen. Everybody will keep buying DVDs forever.
No, people don't want that. It's too expensive or too difficult. And 5 years later, people are watching on the television streaming shit.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, I would love to know how it feels like. Look, I was right all the time for like 10 years ago, and look where I'm now. No, like that is must be great if that feeling comes to you.
Yeah, and I think I saw it sometimes. For example, you see also by Lowlander, he was like the first one who has like his focus on low alcohol
Zero,
beers.
no? Yeah, low alcohol.
Zero beers. And now look at what's happening, like the beer
in the whole
market.
market. Yeah. Yeah, like the yeah. You
But
made the right step for that part, though.
but
Uh,
most people were thinking this guy is really stupid. Why should you drink 0.0 beer? There are like enough other options to choose then. And now you see like I'm sitting here with a zero point 0.0. So yeah, it's getting normal and the taste is also really good. So that helps out. If I didn't find the right zero point 0.0 wine, did you do?
no, not at all. It's way too sweet most of the times. They're like grape juice. It's like,
True.
and it is like grape juice most of the time.
To be honest, it's grape juice. Like wine is grape juice, no? Like it's just grape juice that you ferment.
Yeah.
I love the champagnes nowadays. They are quite getting better and better. So
I tried one. but it
Yeah,
was
and
okay.
teas,
Yeah.
like you get sparkling teas, like they try to be more like the exclusive champagne kind of
Yeah.
idea, but yeah, it's a tea. I don't know. In the end, it's also about positioning and stuff.
Yeah.
But it could be interesting. I mean, it's all aligned to a wellness trend, I think, right? Like the consumer in the
Exactly.
end is thinking more conscious about their choices.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
with
is.
Justice, we were literally in that space as well.
Yeah.
I think we could be above Stels, honestly.
Definitely.
And maybe above even
Viper.
Viper,
White
Cloud,
Claw.
what the
This
fuck.
one here as the
Yeah.
other. Viper is super big here.
Yeah, they are getting real big brands nowadays.
Yeah, they got.
Yeah.
We were bigger.
Last
Anyway.
question for you, Renko. The most difficult one that we always save for the last is: what is your favorite food or dish?
And frikandel speciaal, which makes it really hard.
He's super Dutch.
Ja, nee, heel Nederlands. Echt Nederlands.
Nederlands.
No. I mean, I know that the freaking special has a lot of lovers in this country.
Oh, I wanted to say that you say like cauliflowers in it. That doesn't have cauliflowers in it.
That's why he's
Maybe
working on it. He's working to make a
Shit, don't say.
freaking
Wait,
special.
I can see because this is a product launch.
I think they're a restaurant. If you serve them with mayonnaise and curry ketchup and onions on top, it's getting there, but it's still
getting there.
it's getting there.
Well,
But it's
Renko,
still another feeling, but yeah, it's even tasty as well.
yeah, it's not a sausage, and no, like it's getting. Yeah, we're curious. This was it, Renko, and honestly, it was a great podcast. Many things that you shared openly, much appreciated. A lot of new learnings. I mean, honestly, we can, I think, also talk for another hour, going deeper in certain things.
Yeah.
And for now, I want to say thank you for your time. Thank also for making great snacks. People should
Appreciate it.
go and get them if you're in the Netherlands now, and maybe soon in Germany. We hope to see Snack with Benefits going all around. And thank you, Renko, again.
Thank you. Thanks for being a great host. And
Yeah,
we had fun, right? It was
Yes,
Friday,
sir.
and we had fun. So